Hey guys, this is Whiskey here. Welcome back to Path of Titans. Thanks for clicking on this video and hope you enjoy it. Give me a like and subscribe if you do. But in this video, this is my first Argent fight. I decided to grow an Argent and play on Apex Killers community server where I've killed now 17 Argents as Gigas, mainly PT Gigas, some of them DB Gigas. I've got 17 kills, Argent kills. I'm pretty sure it's 17 of them. It's pretty close to that. I wanted to play as an Argent because I wanted to see what exactly it's all about because I've never actually played one. So I thought it would give me, for one thing, give me a better idea on how to fight against them. But I also wanted to try it. I feel like it's a pretty tough challenge. I know if I'm with a capable Giga player and we go after an Argent, as long as it doesn't go and camp inside the water and like submerge itself or get in a really tricky spot, then we're going to certainly kill the Argent. It'll just be a matter of time. And even then, when they do that, we usually still end up killing them by either starving them out or they get impatient somehow and they have to leave the place that they're hunkered up in, and we end up killing them. So like 99% of the time we always end up killing the Argent. It just might take like literally 2 hours sometimes instead of just 30 minutes. So I figured it would be a really tough challenge, especially with a lot of the good Giga players out there and Carc players, and both DB and PT Gigas are really good at taking out Argents, and so I wanted to try my hand at it, and I thought it would be a really cool challenge, and this is the fight. And I encountered these two Carcs as my very first fight. So one of the things I wanted to do in the fight was try to fight them, like actually try to fight them on land and not go into the water or get it onto like a big cliff or a rock or something like that as much as possible. Now, at the same time, the Argent is extremely hard to grow, so I don't want to die on it, and I don't feel like growing it again. A growth token on this is the Apex Killers community server. They're 500k for an Argent token, so I don't really want to grow it again. So I am gonna use the environment to save my life, but I wanted to try and at least give them a good fight as long as possible on the land, and so that's what I did here. And I think I did a pretty good job of it. I was getting used to timing the tail attack and timing the stomps. That's the really tricky thing. The good players can come up and bait out your stomps. They get up next to you where your tail can't hit them, and they get you to do a stomp. And then once they do a stomp, they know that they've got that. Once the Argent does a stomp, those players know that they have like a 4-second window to get a bite on you. So I know that that's the strategy, and so I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible and make my stomps count. But man, it's a lot trickier than what I thought, because it's easy to get baited, at least for me, probably because I'm a newer Argent player. And also, I never realized that this camera angle is pretty bad. So like when they're in front of me like this, a lot of the times I felt like when I was stomping that I should be hitting them because it looks like they're touching me, but I didn't get any kind of damage indicator. So I guess they're just kind of like next to my front foot, but my Argent body is actually blocking, my view of the player, so I couldn't really see them all that well. So it was pretty difficult sometimes to actually land the stomp, a lot more difficult than I thought it was. So I learned that. And I think, as you can see, like throughout this fight, as this fight goes on, I get better and better at landing the hits. In this case, I went to this area here just because I'm not going to submerge myself in the water like a lot of these Argents do, but I do want to use the environment. So I want to I'm going to play around the perimeter of this pond so that there's these boulders. They've got water on one side to worry about. They've got the boulders to worry about on the other side. And hopefully I can get them hung up in some situations where I can get some good hits off, which actually does end up happening in a couple of cases, as you'll see here. And I get them low, several times in the fight. I was hoping I could get this one pinned up pretty good here. But the other challenging thing is that like the neck hits, the headbutt hits, those don't really do all that much damage. The damage is really in your stomps and your tail. I think the rear stomps do the most, and then the tail does a lot. So it's tricky trying to look behind you and get hits off. I'm really not used to that play style. I don't like playing stegos for that reason, just because I hate having the camera turn behind me. But see right there, I finally get a really good tail hit right on that one's head, and you can see how death scarred it is. That one's super low. Now, the disadvantage I have here is that they've got this healing pool, and one of the things that Argents do, and any player does when they fight the Argents, is they will go and heal up. And the Argent is big and slow, and you can't chase them down, so they can just run off and heal up. And I'm next to this healing pool, so that's going to make them heal even faster, which is not good for me. However, it will help me heal faster too. But they're still going to heal faster than I am, and on this server there's only a 30-second combat timer, so they have a huge advantage here. So it's sort of a double-edged sword for me here. I don't know if it's a really good strategy, but I wanted to try it, and I seem to have gotten the better side of the exchanges when I was over there. Like one of them is off healing right now, and I was fighting only a solo for quite a while, 7-8 minutes, where the other one was over there healing up because I got a really, really good hit on it. And so I decided to come back over to the Savannah side and get away from the pond after I had been there for quite a while. I also noticed that my health really never dropped past about 90% this whole time, so I feel like I'm probably doing okay, a lot better than I thought I was. I figured for sure that I would die the first time I fought on as my Argent, because I've just never done it before. So it's the first time for everything, and usually you're going to play pretty badly, and that's kind of how I expected it to go. But I was pretty surprised that they didn't have my health down lower than this sooner. I had fought a solo Giga actually before this, but I didn't get it on recording. And what happened was he got me down pretty low. Actually, he got me to less than half as a solo PT Giga. But then we ended up getting third-partied. I got attacked by a Dino coming up from the water, and then he got attacked by something else. I forget what. So it wasn't a full fight, so I scrapped that recording. But that I was surprised that these guys didn't get me any lower than this based on that fight. So anyway, that other one, you can see it's been gone for a long time now. I clipped a lot of it out, but they've been healing up for like 5 minutes now. And so I know I got them low, and they're nowhere to be found. They're nowhere in line of sight, and I know they're healing up. So that's one of the frustrating parts, is that I don't really have any way to stop them from healing. You can see he's had enough time to even change his skin throughout this process. They were like a brown color to start the fight, and now they're like that speckly great white pattern now. So that just gives you an idea of like how long they were spending healing up. And that is one of the frustrating things, because there's no way to catch them and to stop them from healing up. And you can't heal up as fast as they are. So it's one of the things on this server that I think is, I don't know, just because the combat timer is so low and the heal rates are so high on everything, that the things that just goes to show you that the smaller and the faster things just have a really, really big advantage, especially when you're not really forfeiting a fight when you just leave line of sight like that, which I think it should be. On a lot of servers, when you leave line of sight or if you fully sleep, that's forfeiting the fight. But on this server, they're allowed to do it. They can do the third time is actually a failure. So they can do it twice without failing. They can fully sleep, eat, or leave line of sight, and it's not a failure. But if they do that 3 times, then it is. So it gives them a lot of opportunity to actually heal up. So a lot of these fights have like rounds. You'll have like round 1, then there's a healing session, then there's round 2 and another healing session, and if they sleep or leave line of sight or eat one more time, then that's a failure. I personally think that's just way too much. I think it really should just be, if they leave line of sight one time in a fight, like if you leave the vicinity of the fight, leave line of sight where neither party can see each other, then I think that should just be a failure right there. And then sleeping, I think maybe 2 times, fully sleeping twice for the whole group. So if the whole group cumulatively sleeps twice, I think it should be a failure. So you get 1 sleep and that's it, and then it's a failure. Or 1 time to eat. Actually, eating probably should just be a failure, period. I don't think you should be able to eat in a fight at all. And then leaving line of sight should also be a failure, at least for the party member that leaves line of sight, because you just have way too much of an opportunity to heal up and come back for a fight while your opponent just stands there bleeding or hurt or whatever. But anyway, it's not that way. The rule is 3 times. So these guys have done it now. And they've healed up at least, out of my line of sight once. And I don't even know if they fully slept at all. I haven't seen them fully sleep at all, but I know they have left and healed up at least once. So at this point, I'm really wanting to try to make sure that they don't heal up anymore. I'm still doing pretty good with my health. This is the lowest my health has been in the entire fight, and that red one now has changed their skin again to like a brownish red from the great white speckly pattern. So I guess they're changing skins in the middle of the fight again, just to show you an idea of how much their stalling is going on. And so I just want to prevent that. I don't want them healing. I don't want them stalling as much as possible. And that's one of my focuses now in this fight. So at this point, that brownish red one over there is being very, very passive. I've gotten them to death scars at least 2 or 3 times now. I think that was the 3rd time, and they're not really trying to come in and get too many hits. So the gray one's doing a lot of the work, and I just need to try to get him low also. Again, my health's been very, very good this whole time. And then right here I hit him with that back stomp, and there he goes, just death scarred up. And so they're going to go try to heal up, and I want to, like I said, stop that as much as possible, because they're just going to continue to do it throughout the fight. So over here I come over here and I stomp them and I kill them. And of course the first thing they do is they say that I RB'd, which is something all too common, kind of frustrating on this server, because people, when they lose, instead of just saying GG, they want to say that you RB'd. Sometimes it's an honest mistake, but most of the time it's just because people don't like losing and they want to just claim that it wasn't their fault for some reason. But I thought it was a decent fight. He got caught slipping and got killed, and that was my first Argent fight. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what you thought in the comments below. Give me a like and subscribe if you did like that, and I do, as always, hope to see you guys out there in Gondola. Goodbye.